Welcome to another episode of Me, My Wife, and Sports. I'm your host, Fitz, with my lovely co-host, Darcy. Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
I was going to give y'all some words to the theme music, but
oh, you made words for it.
My
All right.
co-host didn't want the added times.
Okay. Well, lots been going on in sports since the last time we were on the air, and this will actually be our last episode until August, which, we take in July to spend some time with family and friends and do a little vacationing.
Yes.
So with that said, let's jump right into it. First, I want to get into the NBA draft that happened about a week or so ago. And to no surprise, Cooper Flagg was the pick.
Well.
That was obvious.
Right.
And Dylan Harper, who was the number 2 pick out of Rutgers, I think was a good choice because he was an excellent player during the season. Now, I have some, as I call inks, about some of the players, because if you look back in history, Duke doesn't have a great track record of players going from college to the NBA and doing well.
Well, wait a minute. Number 3, you talking about number 3 pick?
No. I'm just talking about Duke.
Okay, so you skipped number 3 and
I just went to 1 and 2.
Okay, all right. You just
we're not going to go through the whole list.
You threw me for a loop. Okay,
Pay attention. Come on.
Okay, VJ, I had your back. I had your back.
But
shout out to Baylor in Texas. I'm just saying. I already gave him the shout out. Keep going. You just went straight to.
Well, let me keep going then.
Cooper. No. How you say his name?
I ain't went to him yet.
You was at Duke. I
haven't went to Knipple yet.
Okay, go ahead.
But I was getting ready to go to. I was building up. I was talking about Duke players don't have the longevity or make the big impact in the NBA.
Right.
You had your Grant Hill who got injured, but he still lasted, I think, about 12 or 13 seasons. And some of the other players for Duke didn't go on to be dominant players. But anyway, I think...
Do you feel that way about Flagg?
No. That's what I was getting ready to say. I feel the total opposite about Flagg. I think he's the true Duke player that's going to elevate and shine at the next level. Because you got to remember, he's only a sophomore by years of college, and so he still has a lot to learn, and he's still developing. And I think he's going to do a great job. That's just my opinion.
So Duke does have the ability to put out that level of play.
Oh, yeah. This, to me, will be the first one. Now, don't get me wrong, they have players in the NBA, but I think this will be one of the standouts that'll get a lot of attention and do well. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
All right. So the NBA draft was riddled with a lot of underclassmen, and I wish them all the best, and hopefully it'll work out. Now, I sent you a document because we were talking about NIL, because NIL is just getting bigger and bigger.
Right.
And they're going to the lowest level now. To me, now they're addressing a lot in the high school, because for those who would just like to take a look, go to biz.opendoors.com. That's biz.opendoors.com, and we'll post it on our Facebook page. But it lists state by state regulations for name, image, and likeness rights. So every school is not doing it the same way in the high school level. Some states allow NIL deals prior to signing a letter of intent. Other states don't allow it at all. And if you go to that site, you will see the various states. Like, for example, Indiana is prohibited to incorporate NIL deal while you're still in high school. And I think it's only about 4 states that this is prohibited. And this is based off of information as of May 30th, 2025. Mm-hmm. So things have changed. And, but majority other states have confirmed and permit NIL deals at the high school level. So, but the only thing with that, folks have to keep in mind, they can't, most of them, if not all, can't utilize the school as part of that. Like, for example, if a shoe store in the local town wants to put you up there to advertise business, you can't wear your high school jersey and represent your school that way because it's against their association, high school athletic association rules in most states. So it varies from state to state. So be aware of that, you young kids, as you move forward in your athletic NIL deals.
Yeah, it sounds challenging.
It is.
It sounds like, because our NIL deals in high school going to be big deals? Or could they be big deals?
They could be, because now...
I could see if you're in your senior year coming out, but if you're a
prospect, some kids are being recruited 8th grade, 9th grade by colleges because they could see the potential. But if you're...
So you would have an NIL with a... Would you have an NIL with a college?
No. You have the NIL in high school as a person who's playing, say, basketball, and they know, say, Nike knows that you're the number one freshman or a sophomore in high school prospect. So they want to jump on you and take the chance. And all these advertisement folks take a chance.
So it's corporate entities.
Some are
like Nike and Adidas,
or even Joe Schmo's Pop Eatery
or Eastern Motors.
Yeah, Eastern Motors, something like that.
Something big in the local area like that.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be big either.
It doesn't have to be big, but just somebody that wants to be first.
Right, because any player could get hurt.
Eastern Motors.
Yeah,
any player
could get hurt, and all the money and time you invested as a sponsor can just go out the window. So you're rolling dice.
Right.
It's no different than a team drafting a player.
Anything, not just hurt, but anything can happen.
Yeah,
if you start investing in someone that young.
But look at all the players that have been drafted to the NBA that became a bust, first rounders, and they either sent them to their G League or whatever. It didn't pan out. Yeah. So it's like life. Like an investment.
Exactly. So
all investments have risk.
It's wow.
Yeah. So
find someone in your life that you trust.
Yes.
That's the thing. That's the challenge.
Definitely.
And sign your own checks. Take that advice.
Yeah.
And don't take more than 1/10 of a cent for, you know what I mean? Like we was talking about in the record industry.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Read the contract yourself with your lawyer.
Right. Don't think, as we used to say in the military, we had barracks lawyers who thought they knew the law. Don't find a neighborhood lawyer or a buddy who's like, they can get you this, you can get that, you can do that. No, go to the professional, somebody who specializes.
And read your own stuff, because you know what? I was reading up on Hunter, Travis Hunter.
Right.
He signed his 4-year contract is $46.6 million, fully guaranteed.
With who?
The Jacksonville Jaguars. And $30.5 million of that is a signing bonus that was paid in full upfront.
Wow.
That was set as a record for the first non-quarterback not drafted first to receive that entire signing bonus up front.
Hey, when you got numbers like him and can play both ends, and he
read his own contract and he knew the rules. You know what I'm saying? Right. It all goes to
he's a sharp young
being
man.
Sharp. Yes. And remember, he was a 4.0 student.
Right. Exactly.
So, saying all that to say, you got to be in high school. Getting those kind of deals starts even sooner now.
Right. Take the business classes. if you feel that you can go to the next level, whether it's football, basketball, whatever sport you may play.
Don't think that's all you need.
Right.
You
need more than just to play the sport, because
you're going to need the business
if
end
you
of it
trust
too.
people with everything, sometimes you get
Taught a lesson.
Yep. Or disappointed.
That too.
Okay, great. I wanted to bring up an article I was reading about the quarterback for BYU. I don't know if you heard what was happening with him.
No, what happened?
Well, basically, he's in his he has one more year. He's a graduate student, but I didn't realize BYU had such rules, but they have a sort of a code of conduct within the school, whether you're Mormon or not. If you go to their school, you cannot have sex in their, well, I should say on their campus, but I don't know if it goes beyond that, but in the dormitories and so forth, you cannot. Well, this quarterback for BYU, him and a young lady had consenting sex, and later on, it came out that the young lady, she is trying to sue this young man in civil court for, I think, $300,000, because she said she only consented to kissing, didn't consent to the sexual act. But he states that it was consensual. So the school gets involved and say, well, you broke our policy, school policy of having sex. So we're going to impose some kind of punishment. And it's my understanding they haven't imposed it yet, because what he's trying to do is transfer. Because if they impose the punishment, he'll probably be suspended for this season, which will be his last season anyway, because he's in his last year eligibility.
Okay.
And last year they won the Alamo Bowl against Colorado, and he was the quarterback for that.
Okay.
So he's looking for a new team. So I just find it.
But did you hear the latest on that?
No.
She dropped her claim.
Oh, did she? Okay.
They said the woman who filed the suit, the alleged victim, is dropping her civil suit against them.
Good.
Now it's no word on whether the criminal aspect of the case is still an option.
But see, that was a
But
thing.
it doesn't matter, because the honor code violation,
Right.
it still applies.
Yes, it has nothing to do. And it was my understanding there was no criminal charges ever filed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why I'm assuming she was going civil, or she just see a payday. I don't know the circumstance. Not saying that she didn't say no and tell them to stop, but you just never know these days. So, and
what a mess.
The quarterback name is Jake Retzlaff. Just so you can do your own research and look at it and, make your own determination based on what's out there.
So he's still looking for a team.
Yep. And,
basically.
Some schools don't want to take on that because
too much publicity.
Exactly.
Too much bad publicity.
Exactly. It's hard enough to coach a team, then you bring on, that. But we'll see.
Wow.
NBA basketball, I don't know if you heard that the Knicks are looking to maybe hire Brown. He used to coach Cleveland, the Lakers. He's a good coach. He won a championship as a coach, I think, with Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken. But the Knicks are looking to bring him on, possibly. So best of luck to him. Okay.
Okay. Well, Wimbledon is going on.
Wimbledon tennis.
Yeah, that's going on. And already had 2 upsets.
Yes.
Probably more than 2, but for America,
right.
2 that I know about today were Coco Gauff is out.
Who won
in the first round.
The French Open.
Just won the French Open.
Right.
Yeah, recently.
Right.
Out in the first round. And then our local hero from up the road here
in Baltimore area.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Where is it?
He ain't always. It's Hyattsville.
Oh, Hyattsville.
Hyattsville.
Okay.
Francis Tofu.
I think he sort of claims Baltimore.
Does he? Okay, well then go on to Baltimore then. We don't want you there anyway. with your upset in the second round today. So
And
that
he just played about 2 weeks ago, so he's tired, a little bit tired.
they both look tired, I guess. I mean, like, wow, that was totally unexpected. But
So
the Americans, we still got some hopefuls.
So who is the
Although we also lost Brooksby, he's out. So that was hard to watch too.
So who's the front runner to win the whole thing? Because I still like Alcaraz.
Probably Alcaraz and the lady that was number 2 to Coco in
Sabalenka.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna be the winners.
Especially Sabalenka. I know she has something to prove because she was really upset from losing to Coco.
She was, bless her heart.
Yeah. And you had mentioned too that she made a comment and later apologized.
She did.
Okay.
She did, and which I still didn't get it, but she apologized and she said that. Then she said that she apologized that. No, she told everybody that she apologized.
Right.
And then Coco said, "I've accepted her apology and we're okay."
Right.
So now everybody else needs to be okay with it.
Now, do we know what was said? Because I heard it had something to do with her speech.
Yeah, it had
when she got her acceptance speech for second place.
Yeah, it had to do something with, I don't know, maybe traditionally it's expected that you say something first about the other person's play.
So basically she was...
But because she didn't say that. She didn't...
she came off like she lost and another person didn't beat her.
Right.
Okay.
Like she didn't... Yeah, I think it's a traditional way you're supposed to answer. And she didn't answer traditionally the way she was supposed to. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with what she said. Like she just got up there and she said, like, basically I sucked and
didn't play my best game.
I didn't play my best game. And she talked about all the errors that she was making and blah, blah, blah. And it was a very selfish speech. I got that, but it wasn't offensive. I didn't think toward Coco. I didn't, so I didn't see, I didn't get what she was apologizing for.
You know how the media puts spins
They just
on
make,
everything.
want to make something out of nothing.
Get things going. And where all these athletes try to put on a great game, match, or whatever sport it is for the public without having all this extra criticism.
And then they put these kids under so much pressure to please everybody.
Right.
What is this? Why is she apologizing? And then Coco is saying, "Okay, we're okay now. Everybody else be okay." Well, I was never not okay. What the hell are you talking about? So don't make them feel that there's something wrong when there's nothing wrong.
Exactly.
Wait till they actually do something wrong. That's what's wrong with this whole generation. Now, how many times did I say wrong in that sentence?
Too many times.
Too many. But yeah, but the original question, she's going to win it. And hopefully that'll calm her down because Coco ain't even in the game no more. So, and then Alcaraz is playing, his game.
Yes, he's a hell of a player, that's for sure.
But we still have Ben Shelton in it, and he's young and he's cocky, and I don't think he's won a major tournament yet. So I'd love to see his ego against Alcaraz.
That'd be a pretty good match, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Alcaraz, I think, beat him because Alcaraz keeps a level head. The other guy,
Ben is gonna lose it.
Yeah, he plays to the crowd.
Yeah, that's why I said that ego would get in there.
Sometimes you gotta be focused.
That ego would get in there, and he wouldn't know whether to be on stage or on the court. He'd be confused.
Right.
That's why it would be very interesting.
That it will. All right. You know what season is coming up soon?
Not soon enough.
That's right. NFL. We're big football fans when it comes to the NFL and college. So it's kind of looking forward to seeing some of these recent draft picks, see what they do, especially Shador. because it was a big hoopla about him going late in the draft, and everything I've been reading about his workouts and everything in Cleveland been positive. So it'll be interesting to see how he really handles himself.
Oh, yeah.
In preseason as well as the season if he gets the opportunity.
Everything coming out of the training camps and everything's been positive. Everybody's saying, how I think he started as QB3 and then, I think I read something that said that he had moved into QB2 and then that there could possibly be some real competition going on for with Shedeur in that next position. So I think he's just been showing up and showing out. They were saying that he was the first one in the building and the last one out of the building.
Right.
And I remember, because I specifically remember reading that because I thought about Michael Irvin and what, the trainer told us about how Michael Irvin was when he was playing. And so I think Shedeur has a lot to prove. And I think he has been told to just stop talking and leave it on the field. Leave it on the field.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what you got to do, any athlete, because you can talk all day.
Yep.
But if you can't back it up.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's a little bit more difficult, I think, for individuals who play on teams to talk a lot of smack because now you're relying on 4 other guys, 5 other guys, 8 other guys, or whatever the case may be. Where if you're a one-on-one, like a tennis player, a boxer, you talk, either you go do it or you're not.
Right.
Right. And you don't have anybody to blame. Whereas if I'm on a football team and I talk and we don't win, so-and-so didn't do his part.
Right. That's going to be looked at as how you handle that too, because, that's your leadership depending upon what position you're in. And for him, he's just got heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Right.
And he's got a big old crown on.
Yes, he does.
And
a big target on him.
That's the crown, you know? And right now, Dion is having some health issues. Mm-hmm. And I just think that they got a lot that they are going to leave on the field.
Right. I understand. Well, congrats to Jordan Love. He got married.
Yeah. Oh, good. Finally.
Also to
good
Aaron
Lord.
Rodgers. Congrats. He also got married. But, it's funny. Jordan Love posted.
Who did Aaron Rodgers marry?
And that's what I was just going to say. Jordan Love posted a picture of his wife and her name. And Aaron made a statement rather, that, that he wasn't putting her in the public eye. So I couldn't find anywhere it lists a lot of people he dated and all that. I couldn't find who his wife was, actually.
Oh, wow. So, okay.
Hey.
Well, nobody cares that much, but she must. Okay, well, okay.
If that's how you want to live, there's nothing wrong with that.
All right, Aaron, just leave it on the field. Leave it on the field, Aaron. Just leave it on the field.
And as we know, the Commanders made a lot of moves in the offseason.
Oh yeah.
So they are looking like a force for the East.
Yeah, the East is gonna be a beast again. They're trying to bring it back.
I totally agree.
But also I want to say welcome back to Randy Moss, who had.
Oh yeah.
Is returning to broadcasting.
Is he?
Yes.
Congrats.
After battling cancer and winning, and so congratulations on that, and feeling healthy enough to come back to work. So looking forward to seeing Randy on Sunday. I can't remember which one it is.
I'm not sure.
One of the Sunday morning shows.
He's going to be on there. So I tell you, it's going to be a different season this year when it comes to football. And I'm got my fingers crossed, my toes crossed, hoping my Cowboys do something. But we will see.
We shall see.
More to follow on that. So, speaking of that, because I don't foresee the Chiefs and even Baltimore, I don't see the same old players especially with the Chiefs as a dynasty, I don't see that happening anymore. I think their run is done. Because I think
we want to believe that?
I think these other teams are well stacked.
Okay.
And I wouldn't even put it past Washington. I'm not even a Washington fan, Commanders fan, but
they came close.
They came real close, and they were just missing a few pieces. And your San Francisco, they sort of dismantled because I think Ayuk, he's no longer there. And, of course, Debo is no longer there. So, and I don't know the state or the health of McCaffrey. So it's going to be interesting to see who emerges, especially out west from the AFC.
I mean, I had to go get a list. So, so the Chiefs they went back-to-back once. Philly, Tampa Bay.
But in the 2000 era, the Chiefs pretty much dominated.
I'm trying to think it's going to have to be, it's always been, it's like trying to do a quick, what am I doing here? Ratio.
Review.
I'm a math geek, but this is really a quick scan and then thinking geographically.
So what are you trying to say here?
I'm trying to say that it's probably going to be like a team with like a Travis Hunter or someone who drafted a dynasty, got one of those hidden draft picks and is going to come up out of nowhere. Or because these guys, like looking at the...
Well, I'm not even just thinking of the players. I'm talking about, because like Travis might be one of the missing pieces, but it's going to take a lot of pieces because if you got a coach or a GM.
But who did Philly draft? Who did Philly get in the draft?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. See, and that's what you can't say because, well, we know Kansas City. I don't even know who they drafted.
Well, we don't even.
They got more wide. Well, they got wide receivers.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We just can't focus on the draft because people made off-season moves with free agency. You got to look at everything, even the firing and the hiring of all these coaches.
Yeah, it's too many pieces. It's too many variables.
A lot of variables.
Too many variables. So, how have they continued? The only thing that isn't, the only constant that you could say is Andy Reid.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about for
Kansas City.
For Kansas City. Well, you need to say that. We was talking for one time. Well, him and Mahomes are the constant.
Yeah. So if that's what, if that's the thing that keeps them.
If Kelsey is done with gallivanting in the pop world and focus on the game, well, he should just retire and tour with his girlfriend.
Taylor, yeah. Well.
But I'm not a Chiefs fan anyway, so
we digress.
I can't care less.
We digress.
Yes, we did.
Let's get back on track.
Like I said,
here.
I'm a Cowboys, and we got a lot to do.
And we still better just be sure that Micah gets signed.
Yes, please.
Can we do that?
Please. All right, folks, we're winding down here. But before we go, I just want to remind everyone that we're going to take the month of July off, and we'll be back first week of August. So be on the lookout and listen for us. In the meantime, check out some of our old episodes. And don't forget to send us comments, questions, or concerns at memywifeandsports@yahoo.com. memywifeandsports@yahoo.com. And you can also go to our webpage, memywifeandsports.buzzsprout.com. All right. With that said, Darcy, any parting words before we take a month hiatus?
No, check us out on our YouTube channel.
Oh, yes.
Me, My Wife, and Sports. And look for the new season, which is season
4?
Season 4.
Yep.
And so we'll put out, when the new season starts, look for that advertisement on all our Facebook page and YouTube channel, and it'll be out there everywhere. And as always, I leave you all with your mate is a reflection of you.